Hey friends, welcome to Radical Wellness Wednesday. My name's Laura and I am going to be talking about some other aspects of our wellness that you might not always think about. It's pretty common for us to think right off the bat about our physical health or even our mental health, but there are a lot of other things that go into your overall wellness. We're going to be talking about some of those things today and doing it in a way that gives you some short-term goals, little bite-sized pieces you can easily put into your everyday life, as well as some sort of shorter-term and longer-term goals that you can accomplish throughout the month and the year. Today's topic is going to be financial wellness. And I've said this before, but this is one of my favorite topics, largely because I'm not that good at it. And it's something that is really a work in progress for me. And I'm sure it is for a lot of people for a variety of reasons, whether it was your upbringing and the way that you look at money, or maybe some circumstances that have changed in your life. Whatever it is, it can be a struggle to think about your financial wellness and how to put that first in your life or make it a priority. If we think about what we could do every single day, I kind of reflect back to a time when my kids were little and we had what we called the Disneyland jar. And it was just a big old empty jug. And anytime the kids had some spare change, they would dump that change into it. And that was going to be their spending money when we went on our big trip to Disneyland. They didn't know when that big trip to Disneyland was going to come, because I didn't know when that big trip to Disneyland was going to come, but they were very faithful about putting their spare change into that jug. Time finally came. Guess what? They had a couple $100 each that they could be spending at Disneyland. That's a pretty big accomplishment for just spare change. So you can do something very similar, whether it's an actual jar in your house, or even if it's just having an automatic deduction taken from your checking, putting into your savings account. There are a lot of banks that have programs that will round up anything that you deposit so that you continue to make a little bit more into your savings than you were specifically planning on. And these are all ways that you can just sort of chip away at adding some more money into your savings account. Even if it's just spending money, maybe it's rainy day money, maybe it's just fun money, but it's something that gets you into the habit of thinking about it every day, doing something about it every day, and then seeing how those little bits and pieces can come together and help you actually come up with a fair amount of money. The next goal that I want to talk about is what you could do maybe once a month. And this might be something as simple as setting a small, short-term goal that is going to help your finances move forward. Maybe it's paying off a small debt. It could be paying off your credit card each and every month, or it could be something as simple as spending a day or maybe even a full week, if possible, where you don't spend any money. I know that sounds really simple, really easy, but it's surprising how often we're actually spending little bits of money, whether it's ordering something on Amazon over here, picking up a book over there, putting gas in our car. Some of these things are necessary. Some of these things are not necessary. But if we create a day, start with a day, maybe extend it to a week eventually. But if we create a specific time period where we plan to not spend money, it keeps it on our mind, and it also helps us on the days when we are allowed to spend money to be a little bit more mindful about the money that we are spending. It's so easy to just sort of frivolously fritter away our money, and we really don't want to do that. I feel like there's a lot of money that I personally sometimes just am seeing go out the door and not really getting that much of a return or feeling that great about whatever it is that I spent that money on. So I think that it makes sense to give yourself pause to be a little bit more mindful about how you're tending to your money. And then our third goal, of course, would be our annual goal. This is where we go a little bit deeper and we really want to start setting up something that's a year-long goal. So it could be a long-range savings plan. It could be this year I'm going to research and open a IRA account, a Roth account, maybe learning some more about retirement investing. It doesn't always have to be an actual physical act of putting money aside, but it could just be learning more and very in-depth on how to manage your money better. Not just with a budget, but also how can I make investments? How do I make my money work for me so that over time it's compounding? Sometimes people tend to think, oh, it's, I'm already 40 or 50 and it's too late for me to start those things. You would be what I like to call wrong. It's never too late to start thinking about your financial future and your financial health and putting yourself in the best spot you can possibly be in. Look, we don't know how long we have. Each one of us has a certain amount of lifespan, and you need to balance between enjoying your life now and having fun with some of your money, but also planning for that future and seeing, how you're going to be spending your retirement years and your older years. Very common for unexpected things to come up. Health issues might come up. And we want to be as prepared for those things as possible so that we're not left at 75 years old, 80 years old, scrambling, trying to figure out how we're going to pay for a treatment that we need or some medication that we should be taking every single day. So I hope that these tips help you be a little bit more thoughtful, a little bit more mindful about your financial wellness. It really is a key component to our wellness because I'm sure as many of you know, if you get into a financial bind, it is incredibly stressful. And that's going to impact your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. And all of those things can be stemmed from that financial crisis. So do what you can, starting with those small steps and slowly building it out to make yourself more financially secure. And that will really enhance your overall wellness. I hope you enjoyed today's tips. Please make sure that you go out to layloyoga.com, download the free ebook that goes along with the Radical Wellness course so that you can stay up to date with it, take notes, and make plans for yourself for all the different aspects of wellness in your life.